Hi everybody, it's Dawn from Crafting on the Green. I hope you're well. Today I wanted to show you how to make a zigzag fold card. So here's one that I made earlier. I'm going to show you how to make this, which I think is nice and pretty and cute, something a little bit different. So first of all, you're going to need a trimmer and a piece of A4 basic white thick card. So the first thing we're going to do, you want to hold it horizontally, and we're going to end up cutting from this top corner down to here. Now, so we want to measure 11.7 centimetres on this side, and we're going to make a small pencil mark. So we're going to do 11.7. So we're going to make it about there. It doesn't have to be 100% exact, but you don't want it to be far off either. So next we're going to cut from our corner there down to our pencil mark. So just line it up and make sure that you're happy that it's straight, and then just chop away. There we go. So that's exactly what we want it to look like. Next we're going to do some scoring. So I'm going to put the long flat side at the top just to make it a little bit easier, to be honest, rather than trying to score on a diagonal. So first of all, we're going to score at 9.9 centimetres. And then we're going to score at 19.8 centimetres. Okay, so there we go. So we now have our card base with our score lines in. Right. So pop that to one side just for the moment. So what we want to do is fold it. First of all, you go over like that, and then we're going to bring the shorter side back like this. And grab the bone folder just to go over the creases. There we go. So now we have our card base. So to decorate, we're going to cut some DSP. So I'm going to pop that to one side just for the moment. Bring back my trimmer. And I've got some DSP here from the Sweet as a Peach set. So like this one, I want to have the pattern on here, and then I'm going to put the flowers on the next part. So I want this to be my top, this to be my bottom. And we're going to have it facing down, and then we're going to cut a piece that is 20 centimetres by 8.9 centimetres. Now, because I want this to be my top, I'm going to make the smaller cut first. So we're going to cut at 8.9 centimetres. Chop like this. So then I know this is going to fit nicely on the back piece there. Then with the short side at the top, or I better cut it at 20 centimetres first. So it's 8.9 by 20 centimetres. So with the short side at the top, I want to grab a pencil, and I'm going to make another mark. So I want to measure, so if this is my front, this is the top corner, we're going to measure on this side here. And we want to measure at 16.9 centimetres. Yes, that's correct. 16.9 centimetres. I'm going to do it upside down. 16.9 centimetres. And just make a pencil mark there. And then I'm going to cut from this corner to the pencil mark, just like so. That's right. So now we've got a piece that's going to fit on here, like so. So that's our back piece. Next, we want to take our DSP again, and again we want it to be 8.9 centimetres. Actually, double check which way it's going to be. Sorry, I'm just double checking my instructions to make sure that I get the pieces the right way around. So yes, that's it. This piece needs to be facing down because I want this pattern for my middle panel. So keep the pattern that we want facing down. I need to cut a piece that's 13.8 by 8.9 centimetres. So again, I'm going to cut the short side at the top. So we'll do 8.9 centimetres and 13.8 centimetres. There we go. So what I want here, this piece is going to, no, that piece is going on the front. So this piece is going to go on the front. So I want this piece, again, I'm going to cut here. So I'm going to face it down. I'm going to measure at 10.7 centimetres. And I'm going to make another mark there with my pencil. And then again, I'm just going to chop from the corner to the pencil mark. There we go. So that's our front panel done. Now it's time to do the decorative piece on the back. So let's see if that's long enough. Not quite. We'll cut another bit. So with our DSP again, DSP facing down. So this time I want the patterned piece, so I'm going to face that down. I'm going to cut a piece of DSP to 8.9 centimetres again. And it's going to be by 16.9 centimetres. Okay, so this piece is going to go here. That's better. So again, we're going to cut from this corner to here. We want it going backwards this time. So I'm going to measure at the bottom at 13.8 centimetres. Okay, can't measure at the bottom, it doesn't go that long. So we'll do 13.8 centimetres. So I'm just going to use it as a ruler this time rather than marking on the score line. So 1, 2, 3, it's about there. So then we're going to cut from there to there. Yes, that's correct. It's always worth double checking to make sure you've got things the right way around before you cut, because you can always draw another pencil line, but obviously once you've cut it, and something like this can be just a little bit fiddly at times. That's not the straightest cut. Let's try that again. There we go. So there we go. So that bit's going to go in there. Right, that's our cutting done. So just to run through it again, what we did, not that it was confusing at all. So we cut our first piece at 20 centimetres by 8.9 centimetres, and then we measured on, we faced our pattern down and we measured on the left hand side, we measured at 16.9 centimetres, and then we chopped from the top right to the mark on the left. Then we made our front panel, which was 13.8 centimetres by 8.9, and again we faced our pattern down and marked on the left hand side of the DSP. We made a mark at 10.7 centimetres, and then we chopped from top down to the mark. And then on our third piece, which is going to go in the middle, we faced our different pattern downwards, and we made our mark on the right hand side this time. So we did a 16.9 by 8.9 centimetre, and then on the right hand side we made a mark at 13.8 centimetres, and then cut from the top left to the bottom right. So the middle we do reversed. I hope that makes sense. Right, so we've done our cutting for now. Oh, pop that out of the way on the floor. So now we're going to decorate our card base. So what we want to do is take our bigger piece, and we're going to stick this on here first of all. Oh, it's got gluey. If you watch this and you get confused by the measurements, please let me know, and I'm happy to go through them with you or send you them written down as well. So please do get in contact, I'm happy to help. Right, now the small piece we're also going to stick on the front. There we go. And then for this piece, we're actually going to stick it on the back. It's going to go there. So one of the wonderful things about having double-sided DSP is that the patterns generally complement each other quite well. And so if you want to use both of the patterns, both sides of the DSP in one go, you can. There we go. So now, when we fold this up, you can see it's got a bit of DSP in there. So now for the decorating, what we're going to do, I've got a couple of stamp sets here, and one of them is Daisy Lane, and they come with, you can get 2 different size punches, so you can punch out the small and the larger daisy. And then I've got the Happiest of Birthdays. We're going to use this big stamp here and pop it in the middle. So first of all, I'm going to do the wishing you the happiest of birthdays, and I'm going to plonk that right in the middle. I'm going to do it in Balmy Blue because I think it will match that DSP rather well. I think this is one of the best birthday stamps I've got. I absolutely love this stamp. Right, so we want it somewhere in the middle. Just like that. Right, so we'll pop that aside to dry for the moment. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of DSP here, DSP cardstock, sorry, white cardstock. Now I've got my daisies. Now I'm going to do them in a couple of different colours. I'm going to go for So Saffron. And for each daisy that I want, I'm going to stamp twice. So I want to have 2 of each, so I'm going to need to stamp 4 times. So 1. When I'm stamping, I'm also trying to make sure that one of the points is pointing downwards or towards the edge, because that will be handy for when we're punching them out. Right, so that's enough of the larger daisies to make 2 flowers. And then get some more scrap paper here, and I'm going to use let's do a Calypso Coral for the smaller ones. So nice and bright. As you see here, this is a piece of card I cut wrongly earlier, but it's still good for scrap and for cutting things out. So do 4 of these. Okay. And then what we're going to do is grab the punches. So we've got the large daisy here. And I'll just punch out these 4. Punches are great. They're so easy and quick to use. You just have to make sure they're lined up when you're doing it. It's not very straight. There we go. Right, so that's those ones. I'm just going to do the same for the smaller ones as well. You'll get used to aiming the pieces that you're cutting out where you want them to go, because they do tend to fly around a bit sometimes. Okay, so now we've got lots of daisies. So I'm going to stick them together to make our 2 flowers of each. Okay, so we'll take some Tombow, and in the middle of 2 of each I'm just going to put a little dollop of glue. Like that. And then I'm going to just layer over the top to fill in the gaps with the other punched out daisy. I do love it this way because then you it gives it a 3D effect as well. It actually looks like, you know, you'd expect a flower to look, really. So we've got those. Next, what I want to do while these are drying, just push those to one side. So I've got some tags here. These are from the TaylorMade Tags die set, and you've also got these little sort of strengtheners that you'd put over the holes. So I'm going to add these on as well. It's been nice and colourful. What I want to do for this one is find a little piece of scrap. So I'm just going to use this DSP because I'm not going to use that on anything else, I don't think. Got my paintbrush. And because they're small and fiddly, I'm going to paint the glue on the back instead. Again, it helps control the amount of glue that I'm putting on, so there's less chance it's going to splodge out, because we don't want it to splodge out because then it just gets messy. Alright, try not to throw that everywhere. And then we'll line the flat side up at the top and line it up with the hole. Okay, just like that. I think it looks quite smart once it's got these on. Okay. Right. Oh, I must have some glue on me as well. So we'll pop that to one side. So now what I'm going to do is, I've got, using the Daisy Lane stamp set, you've got some sayings here. You've got friend and smile, and I think they're quite nice. So, yeah, so I'm going to stamp those on. I'm just going to use Memento in black. So I'm just going to put smile on one. I think it's a really nice font as well, isn't it? Nice and clean, but quite a happy font as well. And then friend. Okay. Next, I've got a couple of short pieces of the silver twine, and they're only, what are they, about 5 inches long? Yeah, just approximately 5 inches long. So I'm going to fold them in half and then poke that through the gap, and then take the 2 ends and feed it through the loop. Just like that. I'll do the same on this one. Okay, so there's our decorations done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop daisies like this, and then again similar on the front. So that's how I'm going to stick it all together roughly. So I'm going to take my Tombow, put some on the back of the large daisy, put that there. Yeah, and we'll pop that one on there. If it hangs off the side of the card on the twine, which it probably will, don't worry, because we can just snip it off. Okay. Excuse me. Then on the front of the card, I'm going to stick the larger daisy down again. But I want to use a dimensional for the smaller daisy so that it stands up a bit. And then we're going to tuck this in here. I think I'm also going to do this on dimensionals. It's nice to give it, well, a bit of dimension, isn't it? There we go, and I want it slightly tucked in under here, just like that. And again, I'm just going to chop this off just a little bit. I don't mind if it overhangs too much on the front. Right, and then the final piece, so here I've got a gem. These are actually retired, but they were perfect because they're sort of centres for your flowers. I hope that they will come back out again soon. But to me, they do finish off your flowers quite nicely. But there you go. That's our card. Yeah, I hope you like the tutorial. I think it's such a pretty card. I know I'd love to receive something like this in the post. But yeah, so that's the zigzag card tutorial. Yeah, I hope you liked it, and if you did, please subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell so that you get notified anytime I bring out another video. And until the next one, take care. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.